Hello and welcome to Pleshey in Essex. I'm here for the Pleshey in Essex Half Marathon, one of my favourite half marathons of the year. It's a really nice route on country lanes out in the Essex countryside. It's a little bit undulating, but nothing too bad. You can still run pretty quick here usually, and it's the Essex Half Marathon Championships as well. I am testing quite a lot of stuff today. So the main thing is the On Cloudboom Strike LS. So it's obviously the On's new racing shoe with the light spray upper. I've done a lot of training in it and really think it's a very good shoe, but I haven't had a chance to put it through a proper race test yet. So I'm going to use it today. In terms of actual targets, I'm not sure. I'd like to run my fastest time on the course. So like a low 111 or a 110 something would be good. We'll see how it goes today. Usually there's a good group of runners to run with and you kind of just see how it falls because there's a few uphill bits and then a nice downhill near the end. So if you're in good shape by that point, you can run pretty fast here. I've also got the two new Garmin's on my wrist. I've got the Garmin Enduro 3 and the Garmin Fenix 8. So I'll be testing those for things like heart rate. Look at the GPS, although GPS is usually pretty good here because it's nice and open out in the countryside. Other than that, got my usual gear on, just normal vest, club vest, saw shorts, my unicorn socks, which are always a nice positive thing to have during a race. But yeah, mainly the shoes today. It'll be really interesting to see how they feel over a full distance like this. And like I say, done a lot of hard training in them. Well, all done, and that's gone unbelievably well. Almost too well. I've run, I mean, my watch says I've run 69 bang on or so, which would be absolutely incredible, huge PB. I'm a bit, I don't know, the course got a bit short on the watches, runners around me, to find out if the course is slightly short. And if it is, it would only be a little bit. I would have been on for sub 70, so it'd be very annoying if I didn't get sub 70 because the course wasn't quite right. But either way, probably the best run I've ever had. Like, I had an absolutely phenomenal run there. I went through 5 miles kind of bang on pace for 70 minutes and then just started, I was just running, not looking at the watch with the group, without a group, just looking down, and every single K was clicking through quicker than I expected. I knew there was a hill late on, but got up that on pace, had a little downhill, then a big hill to finish. But then the finish just suddenly appeared. It came like sooner than I expected. Like kind of 12 miles, I was bang on to finish. I think in my mind, I was on for 69.45, and then suddenly the finish was there. So that's obviously a bit curious. Either something's gone wrong with GPS and the watches or something, but either way, I've had a phenomenal run. I've had a great day. I think I was 4th on the day. We'll find out more about the course, do a wrap up after. But the shoes felt amazing today. Like really, just they're not explosively bouncy, but they just feel so good. They tick and they give you that punch, and they tick and punch, and you're just rolling and you're rolling, and the legs just keep going really well, and you just maintain that momentum. And even when I hit a hill and that, I felt really good. There's only one point in the whole race where I started to feel a bit light-footed, which is what happens to me, where I kind of just start to drift a bit, and I'm not putting enough force into my foot strike and over height, and I'm just kind of turning over and not really running so hard, and I start to slow down without even really noticing, but was able to correct it straight away. Just a couple of strides, felt it, push a bit more drive in, got the bounce back, and then just flew round at the last bit, and ran either absolutely incredible. Either having never run a sub 70, suddenly I've gone sub 69, which would be amazing, or just around 69, or the course is slightly short. I'm going to find out about that, but it's always been perfectly fine here, the course, and normally it comes on bang off. Normally it comes exactly the same right on the watches, so that's why I'm a bit curious. But hopefully it's just a small GPS wrinkle that happens, and I've just had a great run. But either way, I've had a great run certainly, because I was really running well out there. Love the shoes. Check back in later with more thoughts on the shoes. We'll look at the watches and the heart rate and stuff like that, and see what happened with the course. So it's the morning after the race, and first thing to say is my suspicions, my fears were confirmed. It was a slightly short course, really just at the last minute. So basically we ran the whole course bang on correctly. Obviously I've done this race several times. As I mentioned, it's the Essex Half Marathon Champs. I've run it several years in the past, and the course is always fine, but the very last turn pretty much on the entire course, we got sent slightly the wrong way, and it just meant we lopped off 100, 200 metres or so. So it was a slightly short course. Annoying because I was on for that sub 70 if the course was the right length, I'm pretty sure, because like I say, at 12 miles, I had about 17, 18 seconds, 20 seconds in the bank going into that last mile, so I thought I was going to get that sub 70, but didn't happen. These things happen. We move on. Got to run again another day and try and get that sub 70 somewhere else, but I'd like to do it at Pleshey just because it's an event I love so much, and I do think it's a great event. Go back there next year, run the right course. But yeah, we could tell actually a few of us at the finish line, because we run it quite often, that just didn't seem right, the final mile. Like normally there's an extra bit of downhill before the uphill, and yeah, it just didn't happen. But oh well, still a good day out, lots of good people, and still a really good run. Very pleased with my run. Like I said, paced it really well. Really felt strong in the second half of it. Was pushing all the way, and yeah, at that 12 mile marker, I was in a great position to clinch that sub 70. So good run all round, 4th on the day. Didn't quite get an Essex medal, but very close. So one day maybe a solo Essex medal will come around. Onto the gear then. Shoes, yeah, were fantastic. I really like these shoes going to race. I still wasn't entirely sure about them as a race day option compared to something like the Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris, my favourite shoe. You know, it's always a risk when you're not using your favourite shoe in a race, but no, they absolutely deliver. They have actually quite a similar feel to the Asics for me, because you've got not the softest foam underfoot, but a really responsive one and a comfortable one. So over the course of the run yesterday, there were a couple of moments I thought, oh, is it going to get a little bit uncomfortable here under my right foot in particular? But just never did, and actually, yeah, it just felt great throughout the entire race. Nice bit of ping off that foam, really smooth and fast transition, ticks over really nicely. Just, you know, a great racing shoe, and the upper has held up for me. So I'm now at about 125, 130k in the shoe. Upper still feels good. It was great on the race yesterday. I had no problems with moving around, held the foot well. Really nice hold around the Achilles without any kind of irritation there. It's something I have to look out for a bit with my Achilles. So all around it's working really well. Like, there's still the same kind of caveats apply to the shoe I talked about in our review, which is, you know, it's quite risky just to buy the shoe in a off the peg size, because if the upper doesn't work for you, you're just gonna have to send it back. I suppose you could do that. You don't actually have to run in it to know that, but I have quite a unfussy foot. It's fair to say I've got a narrow foot. I fit well in normal sizes, and this just fits well in my normal off the peg size, UK size 9, US 9.5, and I have no concerns of it, no rubbing. But if you have any of those problems, you know, you are in trouble because you can't adjust it with laces or anything like that. So I would love to test the standard on Cloudboom Strike actually to see how good it is compared to this, because you've got the same midsole there, you can get the same, you know, really great feeling underfoot, and you've just got a little bit of extra weight, but with obviously a much more adaptable upper, and an upper you can just buy as a normal shoe, and it's a cheaper shoe as well. So I think that is still a shoe to look out for. We haven't been able to test it yet. We'll try and do that, just because obviously we're talking about this shoe, which is a bit exclusive, hard to find, more expensive, but it's amazing to have, you know, that midsole package in this lightweight shoe, which you get from that upper. So I do really like it. I think it's a great shoe. You know, I'd still be saying probably pick up the Metaspeed Sky Paris, because I do think, you know, they're both amazing shoes, and that one's a lot cheaper, has a normal upper, you know, slightly lighter still, but yeah, absolutely delivered. Like I say, one of the best runs, if not the best run of my life. Just, you know, not going to go on the record, the permanent record, unfortunately. But yeah, I had a really good day in the shoe, and it was fantastic. In terms of watches, so what I've started to do these days to get heart rate data in particular to compare to watches, as I wear the watches, and then I've got the Coros Pace 3, a very light watch, just tucked into my shorts, links up to a heart rate monitor. So I'm not really using the GPS in the Coros because it's in that position. I will say, on all the runs I've done with the Pace 3, like tucked into a shorts pocket, its GPS has been amazing. Like, it's a really good watch, that. So yesterday, obviously, the GPS, we can't look at the total distance. All the watches are very similar, the Garmin Enduro and the Garmin Fenix 8 in particular. GPS track's amazing. It's a pretty easy race for GPS. You know, you're just going along country lanes. It's pretty open for the most part. There's not too much tree cover. There's not loads of really twisty, turny bits. So the tracks look amazing from all the watches. Battery use is very good on the watches as well. Like the Enduro used less than a percent. Like, it's tracking in the kind of auto select mode to have over 100 hours of use, and you know, that's really impressive. And Enduro only dropped by 2%. So again, tracking for pretty impressive numbers all round. For, you know, they are big watches, so you get big batteries, but that's impressive use. And the heart rate was also very good in the watches. So I actually would say throughout testing these watches, I've had really good heart rate results. Like, I haven't been linking them to a heart rate monitor at all. And aside from very up and downy interval workouts, like the kind of hardest stuff for watches to track, they have been pretty much spot on. Like, even if I go and do like K reps at the track, I found the heart rate on the Fenix 8 in particular to keep up and get those reps right. I do some like a hill session, it doesn't do very well, but in the race yesterday, they're spot on in line with the Coros Pace 3's heart rate. You know, there was a couple of little jumps, and the Enduro took a little bit of a while to catch up at the start of the race, but for the most part, yeah, spot on. Really good heart rate, actually, really good GPS accuracy. You know, can't complain with the watches at all. They would have probably delivered me to the finish line in pretty much exactly 21.1k if it had been that long. So, and the pacing is obviously great with those watches. So, like I say, I'm going to a race like I'm not really looking at my watch. Like, there's a group of runners I tend to be lucky enough to run with in Essex races who are around my pace. It's really one of the reasons I love the races so much, is a group of runners I can run with. And in the second half, I was just going to feel like every K I just check, like, oh, have I lost any pace there? You know, it's about 3:19 a K for a sub 70 half, and I wasn't. I was picking up pace, and I was, you know, really excited and feeling really good. So yeah, the watch is obviously delivering that really accurate results, like matching up to the mile markers. You know, obviously you have to convert kilometers to miles in your head, but there's a few points like, you know, 5 miles and 8k where it's pretty close and that kind of thing. So yeah, all round watches are really good. Shoes are amazing. All my normal gear was amazing. Had a really good day. It's a great event, Pleshy. It's a shame about a little mix up this year, but I had, you know, my strongest Essex half marathon champs run to date. My strongest nearly half marathon run to date. 20k PB, that's for sure. So nailed that. I think I was at in about just under 1 hour and 6 minutes. So had that kind of 4 minutes to finish off the race. But all around, I had a really good day. It's just a shame about the overall result. I'm trying to get that sub 70 for a long time now, but I'm gonna have to now do it somewhere like Battersea Park, which is not quite as exciting as doing it on like a fun race like Pleshy, but I'll give it a go next month if marathon training hasn't taken too much of a toll on the legs. Thanks for joining us for that wrap up of the Pleshy Half Marathon. Don't have the comments of any thoughts you have on the shoes or the kit or anything like that. Please like, subscribe, ring the little bell so you get notified when we do another video, and we will see you next time.